gives us reasons to be thankful. Mother of the harvest, Father of the sun and earth, bless us with abundance and plenty. Please face the east.
We call to the east and invite the element of air to join us in our circle. As summer turns to fall, we rejoice in the crisp breeze that wafts by, lifting both our hair and our spirits. May the air refresh us as it blows clean the remnants of the hot summer. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We call to the south and invite the element of fire to join us in our circle. Bring to us the glorious reds, oranges, and yellows of autumnal foliage. In the coming months, may fire warm our hearts and light our way through the darkness when we need it. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We call to the west and invite the element of water to join us in our circle. Like the sun-parched land, we too thirst for the fresh, cool rains of fall. Wash away what no longer serves us, so that we may be open to new experiences. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We call to the north and invite the element of earth to join us in our circle. We are surrounded by the abundant harvest you have given us, this and every year. May we feel secure knowing your gifts nourish us in the leaner months ahead. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. The circle is unbroken, the ancestors awoken. May the songs of the earth and of her people ring true. Hail to the spirits of this place, of root and branch, tooth and claw, fur and feather, earth and sea and sky. We call upon and invite your presence to witness this rite. So mote it be. So mote it be. From the four directions, we gather here to join the circle. We are different in the names we speak, different in the ways we seek truth, and different in the paths we travel. Yet, we are the same. Together in our reverence of nature, together in our reverence of the cycles of life, together in our reverence of inspiration from within. Today, we celebrate the second of the traditional pagan harvest days, known to different paths as the fall equinox, Mabon, harvest home, Alban Elfid, winter finding, and many other names. It's a time when we gather the bounty of the fields, the orchards, and the gardens, and bring it in for storage so it will sustain us during the dark of the year. All over the world, PPD festivals celebrate the harvest by gathering food and money to feed those who need it. Please consider other ways you can help in your own communities. Do a shift at a soup's kitchen. Help package food for groups like Backpack Buddies. Host a meal packaging event for an organization who feeds the hungry. We rejoice here today not only in the bounty that Mother Earth has provided for us in a physical harvest, but also to acknowledge and celebrate our personal harvests of old friends and new. We are surrounded here on these grounds by a caring, supportive, and growing community. We are heathen, Druids, Wiccans, Hellenics, witches, Kemetics. We call old gods in new ways and new gods in old ways, and search for the divine within ourselves and others. We are friends, family, and allies who practice different beliefs than one another, but also love, support, and respect one another. We share in one spirit. Gathering in community at Mabon and the secular Thanksgiving symbolizes our ancestors' reliance on family and community to survive the winter. Combining resources and stores gave them a better chance of seeing the first buds of spring. While this isn't necessary in the modern world, we still walk in the footsteps of our ancestors and the cycle of the gods and the goddess.
Mabon is the time of the second harvest, of giving thanks for all the bounty of the earth, a time when grains mature and become ready for harvest and storage. Also a time of the wane, when many plants begin to end this year's cycle of growth, leaving behind the grains containing the spark of life to nourish us in the cold winter days, and to be reborn next spring to begin the cycle anew. Grain plays an important role in many of the mythologies that have shaped some modern pagan paths, including breed dolls, corn dollies, the hen in the grain of Caradwyn and Gwiambach, Demeter, Ceres, Nepri, Osiris, to name a few. They have also helped shape societies and move humanity from hunter-gatherers to farmers. Today we honor the grains and breads.
In the past, this was the time to gather and harvest the natural bounty of fruits and vegetables that ripen now, preserving them in jams and jellies, canning them in colorful rows of mason jars, saving them to sustain us as the days grow colder. For some of us, this is still our way. But for all of us, the metaphor holds true. Even if we gather our vegetables year-round from the shelves of the produce section, this is still a time when we gather and harvest. We gather memories of warm days spent in the sun with our friends. We harvest the joys we find exploring new places and meeting new people during this season of festivals and events.
As the wheel turns and the leaves start to fall, we think of the wise women of old and the bundles of drying herbs hanging throughout the kitchen and hearth. Herbs are harvested throughout the year, but there are still several that we harvest in the fall. Today we don't think about the need for this preservation, but in times gone by, these important herbs could mean life or death during the winter. Some herbs soothe, some heal, while others cleanse or balance the mind and body. Although they are not as necessary today, it is still important to remember where many of our medicines and remedies came from.
Day and night stand now as equals, in balance with one another, and opening a threshold between darkness and light. Nature seems to stand still, no longer thriving nor quite yet dying. At this moment, as at Ostara, we are more connected to the realm of the gods and the true nature of the universe than at any other point in the year. Soon the sun will wane, and the cold will envelop us once more. But for a time, we may rejoice in this equilibrium and share in the gifts that our Mother the Earth bestows upon us by the grace of her never-ending cycle of life, death, and rebirth.
At harvest, the goddess comes to us as the harvest queen, representing the ripe corn of this year's harvest. And the god is cut down as the grain is cut down at harvest. He surrenders his life so the community can survive a long winter, so the life of the community will continue, and he is the seed that drops back into the fertile earth, sleeping through the dark winter to awaken in the spring and burst forth in the summer and bring next year's harvest. Our harvest, right now, this very one, carries within it the seed of all the future harvests. Just as the goddess carries within her the seed of the Sun King, who will grow in the darkness of autumn and winter to be reborn in Yule, death and rebirth, everything dies in its season. Everything is reborn. This is our whisper of immortality and the wonderful bittersweetness of harvesttide.
As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. As you look around today and see the abundance of harvest, think about what has been growing for you this past season. What are you ready to harvest? It's a time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Rejoice in the abundance of the season. we ponder the future, what will nourish us through the winter, and what seeds of intention will we plant next season? In the words of the prophet Louis Armstrong, it is indeed a wonderful world. How will you make the most of it?
Mother Earth, in the name of our gods and the goddesses and those of our ancestors, we give you thanks. You nourish us body and soul with your gifts of beauty and of abundance. As you honor us with such precious life, so may we honor you. Father Sky, in the name of our gods and the goddesses and those of our ancestors, we give you thanks. Light of the sun and blessings of rain fall upon the body of our mother, bringing forth her gifts, which make our hearts glad. Bless these gifts of the harvest for your loving children. May we never hunger, may we never thirst, and may we ever rejoice. So mote it be. So mote it be. We call upon the old gods to bless us. At this time of harvest, we ask that they guide us in the sowing of our seeds for the future. Aid us in reaping the